My full name is Naharai Galindo. People call me either Nana or Lulu. When I was little, we were living out in Los Lunas about 3 years that I can remember. And within those 3 years, I did have my mom, my dad, my brothers and sisters. Within like 2 years that we were here in Albuquerque, my mom had left. I was like 3 when my mom left, before when my dad like started raising us on his own. When my dad started dating again, it was like if he pushed me to the side and totally forgot about me. So I would like run away from the house and wouldn't come home for like weeks, sometimes months, depending. I was getting into a lot of trouble. I was ditching school. Sometimes I wouldn't show up to school. I would be getting into fights at school. And around that time, my brother had gone to prison, and that had like a major effect on me because I was always close to my brother. I was really close to him. He was like one of my bestest friends. And when they had taken him from me, it was just like the world had just came down on me, and I wasn't the same for like the longest time ever. I wouldn't smile, I wouldn't laugh. So when I started high school, I would fight a lot, like with a lot of the girls I went to middle school with, because they would tease me about my brother being in prison, about me getting locked up. And it was just horrible, and I hated it. And so every time people would make fun of me, my resolve was to fight them, was to hit them, was to make them feel lower than what I felt. I just kept on getting in trouble, and my dad finally got tired of me, and he told me that if I was going to change, that I needed to do it soon, or if not, I should leave his house. So I left his house, and I was staying out in the streets. I didn't have anywhere to go. I was about 14, 15 when this happened. My dad did take me back into his house, and he did accept me again, and he enrolled me again in APS. It was really hard for me to go back to school, especially like so late in the year, to try to even get all my credits back. Because finally my dad got in contact with my mom and told her everything that I had gone through. And so she told me that she would take me in. My mom was wanting to send me to the South Valley Academy just down the street, but I didn't want to go there. And then we were driving up Blake, and I looked over and I told her, I was like, well, what about that school over there? So we turned around, and that same day I registered, and the next day I started. Well, this is my second year at RFK. My grades have gotten better since I started here. My attendance has gotten better since I started here. I've been on my best behavior I can possibly do. Like, there's sometimes I'll get in a bad mood, but I won't ever let it go to that point, to the fact that I want to hit somebody. And if I do, I always have one of my social workers to help me out, or I can even go to one of my teachers and be able to vent. It's a lot easier for me because it's a lot smaller, and APS schools are like a lot bigger, and it's like 20 to 25 students in one class. And I know teachers like can't really get to the students and help the students. And at least here it's a lot smaller, and it's a lot more convenient for me, and I like it here. When my son was born, I cried a lot, and it was like the most beautiful day ever. I love being a mom. I love my baby. We thought that for me going to New Futures, it would kind of be better, but when I went there, it just was not. When I came back to RFK, it felt a lot easier for me, especially the help with the staff. They wouldn't get mad at me. When I was getting a lot bigger and bigger, I was getting slower and slower on walking and not getting to class on time, but it was fine with the staff. And I was also on maternity leave when I had my son, so I was able to get classwork and do it at home, and then come turn it in and get some more classwork and turn it in, and be able to at least keep my grades up. I didn't have much of a family. So I especially didn't have my mom with me, so I always am gonna be there for my son. And I hope that he does finish school and put school first before any of his other priorities, because school is the most important thing. And when I was growing up, I thought it was like the stupidest thing for me to go to, but it is the most important thing. And I hope my son does graduate. I hope my son is able to make something of his life along with me helping him too. And I just hope that he never has to go through any of the pain and suffering I had to go through as a little girl, because no child, no boy or girl needs to go through that as bad as I did. And they just need to stay in school. Education is important to me because I want to show my son, you know, even though all the challenges I have gone through, I still finished school, I'm still doing better, I still made myself better, and he is the one that is helping me a lot to do this. He is the reason why I am fighting and like sweating and working so hard to finish school, because of him, because I want him to have a good life, because I want him to know that no matter what life throws at you, you can always go past it, you can always finish school.